An unexpected kiss created an awkward yet tantalizing atmosphere between Duolin and Xiaoji. Flustered, Xiaoji explained that it had only been an accidental bump. Duolin, however, thought to herself in frustration. Xiaoji acted completely unfazed, as if he had plenty of kissing experience, leaving only her emotionally unsettled. Even after returning home separately, the memory of their lips touching still made her heart race and her cheeks flush bright red. Having barely slept through the night, Duolin was exhausted the next morning. She squeezed into the elevator with other office workers and found herself standing right in front of Xiaoji. They were so close that she dared not meet his gaze. She shifted nervously and hurried to the other side of the elevator car. After work, Duolin went to a pet shop near her home to buy toys for her cat and ran into Xiaoji by chance. Since both were shopping for their cats, they naturally walked together. A passerby nearly knocked into Duolin, and she instinctively leaned toward Xiaoji. He recoiled sharply as if struck by electricity. To find out if the kiss also lingered in Xiaoji's mind, Duolin gently nudged his foot with hers. Seeing him flinch away again, she secretly felt delighted. On their walk home, Duolin received a phone call from Li Kan. As soon as she hung up, Xiaoji asked if it was the man from the blind date, criticizing him for leaving her alone at the restaurant last time. Xiaoji noticed Duolin's old habit of saying she was fine even when upset. She always concealed her true feelings to accommodate others. Duolin finally opened up to him. The caller was not a blind date partner, but the man she had admired for many years. Now that she was close to him, he repeatedly ignored her feelings, and she began to doubt whether this was the relationship she truly wanted. Xiaoji did not make decisions for her. He simply told her to listen sincerely to her own heart. After Duolin left, Xiaoji drank an entire bottle of water in one go. He finally understood that Duolin's crush had never been on him, he had merely been indulging in self-created fantasies. Though disappointed, he grew curious about the identity of the man she had loved for so long. Wanting to get closer to Duolin, Xiaoji invited her out after work so their two cats could spend time together. Duolin declined, for she already had plans. She was going to meet Li Kan. Li Kan's audition had gone extremely well. If everything went smoothly, he would soon travel to Los Angeles, USA, to film a big-budget movie. He hoped Duolin would move to America with her. She could work remotely and pursue further studies in fashion. He had even prepared suitcases for her. The sudden proposal caught Duolin off guard. Unable to process it immediately, she could not give him an answer. Instead, she gave him a handmade name card holder to shift the conversation. Back home, Duolin looked at the gifts Li Kan had given her, then glanced at her unfinished work on the desk. She set aside wandering thoughts, sat down and kept working. Once she reached a decision, Duolin arranged to meet Li Kan. She admitted their time together had been lovely, yet she could never be genuine around him. She could not share her innermost thoughts, laugh, cry or vent alongside him, and they could not even have a real argument. She chose to go back to being his fan and continue supporting Li Kan in his acting career. With her upcoming heavy workload, Duolin worried she could no longer take good care of the cats. She decided to give both cats to a male colleague who loved cats. While working overtime that night, Xiaoji came to help. Duolin told him about her decision. Though reluctant, Xiaoji respected her choice. They chatted happily about the cats and grew increasingly comfortable with one another. Li Kan, who had come to look for Duolin, happened to witness their intimate-looking interaction. Duolin thanked Xiaoji. It was his reminder to stay true to herself that had given her courage to make an honest decision. Xiaoji realized she had broken up with the man she had once liked. Just as she was about to voice the words hidden deep in her heart, Li Kan suddenly appeared before them. Overcome by jealousy, Li Kan forcefully inserted himself and insisted on staying to help them pack. He deliberately pressed Duolin to say who she preferred between him and Xiaoji. Caught in an immensely awkward spot, Duolin grabbed a random excuse and fled the scene. Once Duolin was gone, Li Kan, who had lost all interest, got ready to leave, but Xiaoji grabbed him. Thinking back to how Li Kan had chased all the way into the mountains last time and his hostile remarks just now, Xiaoji finally saw the truth. All of Li Kan's odd behavior stemmed from his feelings for Duolin. Xiaoji directly asked Li Kan whether he had a crush on her. Li Kan retorted sarcastically that Xiaoji could not even be honest about his own feelings, so what right did he have to demand answers from others? The two clashed sharply and parted on bad terms. The next day, Xiaoji brought the cats to Duolin's apartment, waiting for the male colleague to come pick them up. Duolin suddenly remembered her place was filled with photos and portraits of Li Kan, and she could not let Xiaoji find out. Before Xiaoji arrived, she frantically stashed away every item related to Li Kan in the living room. While they were chatting, Xiaoji noticed the cat he had brought was missing and stood up to search everywhere. When Xiaoji was about to push open a bedroom door, Duolin sprinted over and blocked it firmly, lying that it was her lingerie closet. While Xiaoji's back was turned, Duolin hastily took down the huge banner printed with Li Kan inside the room. Duolin calmed her racing nerves, relieved to have dodged discovery for the moment. Still, she believed she could not keep this secret forever. Now that they were growing closer, she ought to confess that she was a huge fan of Li Kan. Back in the living room, Duolin tried several times to bring up the truth, but Xiaoji received a work phone call each time, cutting her off completely. In the end, she never got to say it. After hanging up, Xiaoji decided no longer to hide his feelings. He thanked Dulan sincerely for inviting him over. This visit had let him see the second cat and see her again. This near confession stirred emotions inside Dulan. Lying in bed that night, she replayed the look in Xiaoji's eyes and could not help smiling. She had felt wonderful seeing him again too. As they handed the cats over, Dulan's tears finally fell. She had grown attached to the animals. Worse still, now that the cats were gone, it felt as though she had lost her reason to keep in touch with Xiaoji. Xiaoji gazed at her tenderly, about to make his official confession, when Dulan's stomach rumbled loudly, shattering the romantic mood. Xiaoji took her out for sliced noodle soup instead. He had overheard her complaining to a coworker that she had long wanted to try this restaurant, yet endless queues had always stopped her. He had kept this tiny detail in mind. Today there were not many people waiting, so they got their turn quickly. Dulan was overjoyed to finally eat the noodles she had craved. After their satisfying meal, they passed a claw machine. Inside were two dolls that looked just like the cats they had just given away. Noticing how fond Dulan was of them, Xiaoji was determined to impress her and vowed to win the dolls for her. He tried time and again, yet kept missing the target. In the end, he only caught an unrelated doll. Even so, Dulan held it happily in her arms. She comforted him that this one was lovely too, and laughed that his stubborn, determined attempts had been cute. Praised by Dulan, Xiaoji was utterly delighted. Outside Dulan's building, he lingered, reluctant to part. He told her earnestly that even without the cats, she could reach out to him anytime. Gentle affection hung thick between them. Xiaoji told her to listen closely. What he was about to say came not from the CEO of Apollo, but from Xiaoji himself as a private individual. 1 second before his confession spilled out, Xiaoji's phone blared nonstop. At the same time, Dulan got a call from her best friend, who told her anxiously that dating rumors about her and Li Ken had broken out, complete with published photos of them together. Xiaoji saw the flood of news and leaked dating photos. Only then did he learn the man Dulan had loved for all those years was none other than his good friend Li Ken. He stared at Dulan in disbelief, the confession he had prepared stuck tight in his throat.